Oh yeah, the straggler in the room. YouTube. YouTube is up. That's what I wanted to see. Excellent, excellent, excellent work here. And let's go ahead and get rid of this screen and just go live like we're supposed to. What's up, guys? Justin R. Harris here. Thank you for coming in, checking in on this investments opportunity. Actually, it's not an opportunity at all. We're just gonna dig right in because the housing market crash. No, it's not a crash. It's definitely a crisis. Okay, you know, we're on all the platforms right now. We're trying to stream constantly, right? So I got the LinkedIn, I got the Facebook, and now we're on the YouTube. You guys know Justin R. Harris here. That's my page, my channel, right? On Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. It's just kind of like me working out and stuff like that. I really don't focus over there too much. It's a little bit of a lifestyle thing, I guess, you know, whatever it is there. But on the business side, digging in on this topic today. So I wanted to make sure everything was streaming the way I needed to be. I got my platform set up the way I wanted to so that I could deliver some great information to you guys today, right? So you know what to do. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and like, subscribe, and get ready to jump in on this information. I'm going to dig in. We're going to cover some topics with Redfin on why we're in such a crisis. Not a crash, different C word. I don't see it as a crash. We got to stop saying crash. Definitely a crisis, definitely a shift, definitely a problem, right? But not a crash, right? Just tells me when I hear crash, I hear panic, I hear completely done, like people are just running and looting the streets and National Guard is called out or whatever you want to, you know, say is something so dramatic that it's actually some sort of crash, right? So it's definitely not that, but it is definitely a problem, right? And we already see the debauchery that's happening right now when it comes to what the Federal Reserve is saying, you know, Powell and his reports, and then how I feel like it is definitely being influenced on our political side, our parties over there, because they don't want to create the panic that the media seems to be really good at pushing out, you know. So I definitely don't want to make it seem like it is something that is crazy, right? It's not crazy, right? It is a crisis, which means that we need to correct it before it becomes I cover some of the information from the other platforms. We all know National Association of Realtors. We know that they are definitely on point. We know that Redfin has definitely been keeping up as far as delivering their data and their statistics, and they have their people out on the ground and gathering the information that we need to get, you know, and it's not as, you know, controlled as people may think. They're definitely giving us residential, it's investment properties, it's commercial on several scales with that. That is my thing, that is my niche. I'm constantly building. Man, do I have some stuff in store when it comes to that. I am constantly creating. So when it comes to that, that's a whole nother animal. Maybe I'll create another business thing or conversation with that. Who knows? But that's how I make a living, and I'm very good at it. So anything you do that you're really good at, you don't do for free, right? You just don't. I mean, it's your thing. It's your one thing, right? So it's definitely my one thing. So now what I want to do is I want to dig in and I want to read you guys some of this stuff. And it's great. And I want to give you kind of my little bubble. Hi. All right. So, all right, Redfin. Home buyer competition falls, lowest level since early months of pandemic. Now, this is as of August 12th, right? And if I'm not mistaken, this information came out in the morning. It says higher mortgage rates and home prices are pushing some house hunters out of the market, leaving those who remain with, you know, they don't have the options. Look at this. Nationwide, 44.3% of homeowners written by Redfin agents faced competition. This is crazy, right? All right, look at the article. It says housing market update, newly listed homes fall. This is crazy. I want to dig into this one here. I just want to jump right in on that one. All right, so let's see what they're talking about here. It says nationwide. Yep, we covered that already. Look at this graph. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about right here. Now, this is not a crash. This is not a crash unless this bad boy just does something ridiculous right here and then flatlines, right? I like to say that when you see these ups and downs right here, okay, these ups and downs are important because that is life. That's us growing, right? That's exactly what's supposed to happen. That's like looking at what is that machine called in the hospital? The thing, beep, 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 you specialists, that's what you guys do. If you're in the medical field, you know exactly what that is, right? So if that bad boy flatlines, you're dead, right? So we don't want to see a straight line here. That means our economy is dead. That's what I mean by crash. So if it just became a flat line somewhere along there, that's a crash, ladies and gentlemen, right? But you see ups and downs, we're alive, we're working, okay? This is what's supposed to happen. There's supposed to be swings to the left and to the right, okay? Cause and effect, up and down, okay? These are the things that are supposed to happen here. It says an offer is considered part of a bidding war if a Redfin agent reported that it received at least one competing bid. The statistics in this analysis are subject to revision. Data below on the property type and metro area is not seasonally adjusted. Redfin's bidding war data goes back through April, way too far, 2020, right? So that's not real, forthcoming there. But we already know what's happening. We know that there's a slowdown. We know for obvious reasons. But the crazy part is why. And National Association of Realtors really dug in on this one, and this is why I appreciate going back to them. It says mortgage rates rocket back above 5%, but market stabilizing. So here's why. Think about this as a business for a second, right? So you as a business, right? Think about this. Let's follow me here for a second. You as a business, you cut your prices back, right? You cut your prices back, people start showing interest again. Your product is starting to move like it's supposed to. And you're obviously shaving how much profit you would have made because you brought your prices down, right? You're a little closer to what you actually paid for that product, but people are coming in the door, right? In the beginning, before you did that, your prices were up a little high, people slowed down. So there's that up and down that I keep talking about, right? The cause and effect. So now the lenders, they're like, oh, you know what? We might have dialed back a little too easy. We enticed some buyers. Some people started coming in the door, but you know what? We're kind of choking ourselves out at the same time. Let's slowly bring that back up again with this quantitative tightening. Let's stay a little more consistent with what the Federal Reserve is doing, because if we cut ourselves too tight trying to get people in the door, we're going to hurt ourselves. Rates start creeping back up again. And that's exactly what it is, right? So you look at this and you're like, oh, what just happened here, right? Home buyers are having difficulty gauging opportunities to save, right, on property purchases as mortgage rates become more volatile. The average for the 30-year fixed rate mortgage swung above 5% again this week, clocking in at 5.2, Freddie Mac reports, right? And Freddie Mac is on it, right? It said last week the average for the 30-year fixed rate mortgage was 4.99. I remember that because I was looking at it and I was like, whoa, this is crazy, right? So you see it happening. You see what's going on. However, rates much not much higher. Lawrence Chief, this is the economist with National Association of Realtors, right? Although rates continue to fluctuate, recent data suggests that the housing market is stabilizing. So you don't want that. You don't want stabilization. You want some more up and down. You got to keep the up and down. Now, I get what they're saying, all right, because they're trying to create less of a panic again from the panic they already created, right? So you see what's happening as far as the ups and downs. You know, it's, if you understand, you understand. If you don't, then you're like, what is Justin talking about? He's babbling away. But I'm kind of skipping past that because I don't want to reteach that. I'm not teaching you that. There's other guys that will teach you that. All right, so it says the National Association of Realtors reported that this week housing affordability decreased precipitously in the second quarter. They're being so sarcastic here. Driven by a sharp market raise in the double-digit home income prices. The average monthly mortgage payment is, wow, $1,841. An increase of $444 in the that's crazy. Households are spending 24.3% of their income on mortgage payments. See, they don't want that because that tells the lender that the person really should not be in that home, right? And then the conversation no one's having right now is the whole foreclosure thing, right? So you got foreclosures happening, right? You still got it going on. No one's talking about it, right? But it's happening. I'm telling you it's happening. I'm seeing the freaking list pendencies flying off the shelf, okay? Flying off the shelf. I mean, people are getting sued left and right. Pay attention to that. It's coming back. For you investors out there that know the game, start getting your research back on those pre-foreclosure properties because it's coming. It's coming hard, too hard and fast. And when it does, and by time it really catches on and becomes conversation, you're too late. Okay, it's just like, you know, when they tell you what stock to jump on. If the news is telling you what stock to jump on, you're at the end of that train, buddy. You're just jumping on, and you probably should be, at that point, prepared to short. If anything, don't jump on because you think you're buying low, because you are missed that boat, right? You needed to have been paying attention before that. So if you're looking at the foreclosure game, this is the buy low. Pay attention to it. Get your data and your research. Start to look at what those properties are doing and where they can be, right? Based on your comps, where that value is going to be based on the income in that area. And as a whole, like I said, that's what I specialize in. So we could really dig in on that if we had to, but I'm not going to get into that. So what does all this mean at the end of the day? At the end of the day, what I could tell you is it's not a panic, okay? It's a crisis in the sense that we're not getting the buyers out there that we need. The sellers are like, what's happening? Do I have to keep coming down in price, right, to get my property sold? And the sellers have probably two problems right now. One is they're selling because they are that pre-foreclosure person. And they don't want to put it out there in Front Street yet, but they know for a fact they've missed quite a few payments. The other one is the person that is like, you know what? I want to sell. I'm done playing this game. I just want to go travel. I need to offload this property. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want the stress. Those are your two, okay? Then you probably have your other small percentages of people that are just like, hey, you know what? I see an opportunity. And you got your buyers out there. Those are the ones that are just like, they can and they will, right? They can and they will, whether it's investment or it's their next home purchase, whatever their goal is, they can and they will. And so it doesn't mean the game is over. It means you, if you're an agent, you better know how to play the game, or you as an investor better know how to play the game. And that's really all it is. Thank you guys for checking in. I love you. No, I don't love you. I want you to get out there and make some money, right? And I want to show you that it's not that crazy, okay? I'm not going to build up the hysteria. You guys aren't going to know me for that. I'm not going to come on here and put on an art show for you to talk you into it. It just is what it is. I just want you to pay attention. That's really it. Thank you guys for checking in. Like, subscribe, you know that whole scenario. We need the YouTube stuff to do what it's supposed to do, okay? See you guys.